What is going on? It is July. We are halfway through 2023, and it is time for a mid-year housing update. Wanted to give you guys a snapshot of where we've been, where we're going, what does 2024 look like. So we will link in this video here a report that our CEO, Lennox Scott, the grandson of the original John L. Scott, has just put together his mid-year report. And I wanted to go through and highlight a few things in it that caught my attention and that I thought might catch your interest. So a few things to look at. One, we feel like I've been pounding this point home for the last 6 months, but he starts right off with it. Shortage of homes for sale. Like we've talked about, for various reasons, largely due to the interest rates, people wanted to stay in their home and keep their current rate. There's a shortage of homes for sale. In Southeast King County, we're running about 39% less listings coming to the market so far this year than normal. And that is even a more shortage here than other areas. In the greater Puget Sound, Northwest region here, we're looking between 25 and 35%. In Southeast King County, we're about 39%. So point number one, shortage of homes. And that is gonna be like that for a while, okay? Unique housing market, okay? With inflation, we typically see higher interest rates. We all expected that, okay? That typically is going to lead to a slowdown in the housing market, which would cause prices to decline, okay? We saw that. That was what a lot of the second half of 22 was, right? You had rates go from 3.5 to 7, right? Prices then dropped from May of last year, May of 22, they peaked, dropped all the way until you got until December. So you had the rise in rates, shortage of inventory, prices dropped, okay? But, so right now we're sitting at rates about 7%, okay? The lack of inventory has overcome the higher interest rates in this whole tug of war in supply and demand. So even with rates at 7%, we are selling out of the homes that are coming onto the market, right? So, yeah, so we're selling out, right? So homes are definitely selling at a very quick rate. So where are prices headed, right, as we go into the second half of the year? Depending on who you ask, right? I'm of the opinion prices are going to probably remain fairly flat as we head through the fall and into the winter, okay, from where we're at now. Typically prices are peaking here in like May or June, right? So we've kind of come off that a little bit. I think we're going to probably remain pretty flat, largely due to the strong demand and a very tight supply. I'm expecting that our number of new listings coming to the market will continue to be below our average, probably close to 40% below if we're looking at our trend so far this year. So that is going to keep supply tight. The demand is still there. That's why I think prices are going to remain flat as we go through the rest of the year. When normally we might see prices drop a little bit, I think we're going to be flat. As we go into next year, okay, many experts that we're hearing, economists that we're talking to, are thinking that prices are going to be up about 10% next year from where they're at now, okay? So many of you buyers that are thinking, hey, like, maybe I'm going to wait till next year before I go ahead and hop in, that's fine, but just know that the data that we're seeing is saying that you're probably going to be paying about 10% more for that house next year than you are now. So if you're thinking about buying, let's talk. It may make more sense to do it now. And we can look at helping you with some interest rate buy downs, right? So you can do a thing called a 2-1 buy down or a 3-1 buy down to help buy that rate down for either 2 or 3 years. And then ideally be able to refinance into a lower rate at some point down the road. So that's a quick update on where prices are headed. What is a healthy market? That's another thing that they talk about in this mid-year housing update. And historically, right, a healthy market is when you have about 25 to 30% of the homes selling in the first 30 days. 25 to 30%, that's the healthy market. Less than that, you're getting into more of a buyer's market. Above 30%, you're in more of a seller's market. We are still in the 70 to 75% range. So 70 to 75% of the homes that are coming to the market are still in the first 30 days. That is still very much a seller's market. So a lot of sellers that I'm talking to have they been seeing the headlines, reading the news, whatever. They say, oh, it's probably not a great time. Now it's probably a bad time to be selling. I hear that all the time. The reality is no. 70 to 75% of the homes are still selling in the first 30 days. That is a good market to be selling a home in. So definitely something to know. Who is moving in today's market? There's a question that I get oftentimes. And I would say they fall into one of two categories, right? So sellers that have some sort of a major life event happening, okay? Whether that be a job transfer, right? Or a family change, whether it be unfortunately a divorce or a marriage, where they have now maybe a blended family and now there's just more kids there. They need more bedrooms, they need more space. So we see those folks moving. The other group is folks with a lot of equity, right? So maybe retirees, right? We've helped a lot of people that have retired this last year, moved out of state, gone wherever they're off to for their retirement. Or people that are maybe seniors moving into assisted living facilities. They have some sort of a life change that's happening. So really, life change has always been a driver of real estate, but it is especially now. What you don't have hardly any of now, which we had a ton of the last 3 or 4 years, which is why it was such a crazy market. The low rates allowed people to make lateral moves and save money, right? So maybe somebody had a 5%, 6% mortgage on their home that they'd had since maybe the, early 2000s or something, right? And they realized, hey, rates are like in the 3s. We're going to make a move to a bigger house and our payment's going to virtually be the same. We don't have any of that now, right? That's really what's getting into our seller gridlock, which is the last thing to talk about here, is seller gridlock. So when you have most Americans that have a mortgage, right, are under a 4% and many of which under a 3% mortgage. So for them to make a move to the house with a bigger yard, a house with an extra bedroom, a house with an extra bathroom, whatever it is, right, to step up a little bit in price point, they're going to be getting rid of their mortgage that's in the 3 to 4% or less range, right, and getting a mortgage that today's rates are running right about 7%. Okay, so their payment could go up substantially for them to make that move. So those lateral moves of just moving to a bigger house in the same neighborhood, down the street, whatever, those are what's not happening typically right now. So that's an update on what's going on in the current housing market. We're expecting it to continue to be a strong market as we go through the fall. Great time to still sell or buy a home. So let us know how we can help you. Have a great day and have a great summer. See ya. Bye.